wants to defend the Village as well. Go ahead, Bob.
Morning, shit, Dicks.
How you doing?
Home of the Super Bowl.
Hey, Jimmy, stick to comedy, man. I thought the movie, it was a little frustrating through the middle of it, and toward the end, it just all came together, man. I love that movie.
Yeah, but you know what it seems like to me? Again, not having seen the movie, it seems like a story like that, where the end is the big twist, that you got to then fill up the entire movie with some type of story. Like, you could have, all right, it's the 1800s, Monsters in the Woods. At the end, we're going to show you it's not the 1800s, and go. Now you got to fill it up with what? A crappy love story was in there?
See, the whole thing was, here's what he was trying to do. He was rushing. He thought he had this brilliant plot twist and this amazing ending. So the whole film was basically built to try to justify this thing he probably envisioned, and it was crap. When you look at The Sixth Sense, that was to me great. It was a great movie. It was well written. It was believable. It caught me off guard. It blew me away. This was crap. I wanted to be blown away, and it made me physically ill.
It could have been a half-hour Twilight Zone.
Dude, the Twilight Zone would have done it better. Yeah. They would have done it right. They would have known how to act.
All right, let's go to Chris in New York. Chris, go ahead.
How you doing?
Hey,
Hi,
good,
Chris.
I rented the movie over the weekend. Actually, I bought it. One of my friends recommended it to me, and after I was done watching it, I drove by his house and threw it out his window.
Thank you.
It was horrible.
Dude, I bought it too. I'm so aggravated.
That's hilarious. Let's go to Johnny B on Long Island. Johnny B.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Johnny B.
Hi, Cuddle Bunny.
Hi, Johnny B.
Jimmy, I got to defend you 100%. I have never been to a movie where everybody in the movie theater for opening night said, wow, that sucked.
Yeah, that's what I got when I went. Everyone was around me going, I can't, what? That's it?
I got to see it just to see how bad it is.
No,
I'll loan you my DVD.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. And don't even bother. Don't even think about seeing Napoleon Dynamite. Don't.
I saw Napoleon Dynamite.
You like?
It was really weird, but it's funny. It's funny. It's a goofy movie.
I mean,
it doesn't really have a real story to it, but the characters are kind of funny enough that it carries it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you watched it a few times, it's one of those movies that if you watch a few times, you'll get certain parts of it that really make you laugh. Yeah.
Trevor in Jersey. Trevor?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
The retard's parents crying at the end after they found out he was dead made up the whole rest of the movie for me. I thought that made the whole movie.
Why, was it funny?
Yeah, you didn't laugh your ass off.
I'm trying to remember.
That Ivy killed a monster in the woods and the parents just started crying their eyes out.
Well, yeah, because they knew it was the retard. But by that point, dude, I was crying with them because I had sat through it. It was horrible.
How did they get around things like airplanes and stuff?
They tried to cover that. There's a scene. This arrogant ass put himself in a scene because he thinks he's Hitchcock.
He put himself.
I forgot. Yeah, he has to be in all his movies.
And after they realized that it's actually modern times, one of the park rangers is talking to his boss, and he's going like, "Hey man, look, you're only there to guard the preserve. It's some kind of wildlife preserve. They're a couple miles in, and we pay the planes off not to fly over." It was like the cheapest tie-in.
Way out.
Yeah, dude, it was such a cheap, let's tie this loose end without any real thought into it.
Yeah.
It stunk.
And the village itself, how big was it about?
Oh, a few houses, five or six houses.
It's like a little village.
So it could have been in there without being detected.
Red was the bad color. Apparently, the entire script was written in it.
How many years had they been there?
Well, I guess the people who started, you have to assume these adult children had been there since childhood or whatever, or adulthood.
Maybe
so
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah,
20
maybe.
years.
Yes.
The elders came in 20 years.
The elders.
The elders.
All right, one more. James from Connecticut, then we'll move on. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, I agree with you, little Jimmy. That movie
Sucked.
My wife bought it, and it made a big thing about it. We're sitting in front of the TV, surround sound. The best part was when she fell in that hole.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Dude, I was so mad I wanted to throw myself in front of a train.
Oh, and to compare it to the Twilight Zone, you just killed the Twilight Zone. That was way better.
Hey, did you see, I tell you what blew me away that I absolutely loved and I thought was going to be overrated. I saw Ray, and I thought that was phenomenal. I didn't expect to like it. I'm like, this will probably be blown out of proportion, but it was great, man.
It was horrible, but I agree with you.
Does he die at the end?
All right, thanks, buddy.
No, but he actually winks and says, "I can see."
I'm trying to move on.
Another Hollywood twist.
Yeah.
I'm trying to move on, but there's one more here. Let's say hi to Eric. Go ahead, Eric.
Hi, O&A. Love the show. How you doing, Cuddle Bunny?
Hey, what's up, Eric?
I was just calling because the one major plot point that nobody's mentioned so far in that movie that sucked were those boxes of doom that were in every one of the elders' houses.
Oh yeah.
The boxes of
were
doom.
not hidden. They were not put out of sight. They were right in the middle of everybody's living room.
What is it?
And well, they were boxes of newspaper clippings from their old lives, like boxes of the atrocities that happened to each elder.
Like in real life, every one of them had a loved one murdered or something, and that's why they all banded together and created this little place
Perfect
where
society.
there was no crime or real acting or any type of directing or writing. This little magical place where any twist you throw in is going to wrap the audience up into a neat little package.
Their own Nirvana.
Their own excellent
They
point.
had these boxes out in plain sight, and it was just horrible because nobody even looked in the boxes.
Yeah.
And
Dude, that's where they kept everything.
All right.
Anyway, the movie sucked. I'm punching out.
It was just awful. And the monster costumes were horrible.
Yeah, what were they?
Well, it was like a red cloak, because monsters have red cloaks. And a big dumb monster face, and it looked like it had thin branches coming out of its back. It was corny and awful. I saw more believable monsters on Davy and Goliath. They were scarier as claymation than these awful monsters were.
All right.
Well, why don't we take a break? We get the point.
A review of The Village states that Shamalama Ding Dong lifted the surprise ending almost directly from 100 Yards Over the Rim, an episode of The Twilight Zone starring Cliff Robertson that originally aired in '61. I remember that one. Ship goes up into space, crashes on some planet. The astronauts kill each other off, or at least one of them is really crazed and killing the other ones off to get their water and supplies so he could live a little longer. And they're looking for any type of stuff to keep him alive, water, a lake, something. And one guy climbs over the rim, looks down and sees a telephone pole and a road and realizes they had crashed back on Earth and they weren't on a distant planet. So kind of similar twist.
Yeah, if you're going to put a twist at the end, just make it believable. Make sure, Stephen King talked about it in Misery, where Kathy Bates' biggest complaint in the book was that he cheated on one of the books. Like he cut to a different point without the logical progression. That's what this did.
So you're saying he should be hobbled?
I absolutely believe that. I hope that M. Night Shyamalan faces a Hummel in the wrong direction. Because actually in the book, and Stephen King is good. In the book, he wasn't hobbled. She took a hatchet and chopped his foot off and then blowtorched the wound.
Nice.
And she also cut off one of his fingers and put it in a birthday cake. In the book was great.
Much better.
Wonderful. All right.
So that should happen to him. Except it should be his writing hand put in a cake. So next time he tries to type a twist, you're a dumb Indian and your movie stunk. Ugh.
The worst of Opie and Anthony.
Awful.